Hey guys, my name is Knighton, and I'm the director and founder of Jesus Campaign 365. First, let me thank you for tuning in to this training called 10 Helpful Tips to Door-to-Door Outreach. I want to thank you guys so much for what you're doing and how you're letting the Lord use you in our communities. Well, this training is helpful if you're doing canvassing, prayer walking, witnessing, or even just an outdoor event. If you're doing any type of outdoor, communal, residential, or even urban outdoor outreach, these tips can be applied if you just do a little thinking. So let's get right to it so we can maximize our time together. The first point that I want to share with you today is stay prayerful. This is so important. You want to pray before, during, and after the event. Before, you want to pray that the Lord gives you open doors that you can share in your community and gives you an open access to the people. You also want to pray for the hearts of the people that you're going to run into that day. You also want to pray during the event because much of evangelism is spiritual warfare. So you want to make sure that you're prayed up and you're praying while you're out there. You never know what you're going to run across. Some people have some strongholds. Some people have some, demonic oppression going on in their lives. And you want to make sure that you're praying even over them as you're right in front of them or you're walking up to a house. You also want to pray after, immediately, for the people that you've come in contact with while you're doing your event. It's important to do that so that way you just remember. It's pretty practical. Okay? Our second point that we have for you today is to keep your conversations wholesome and appropriate. One of the things that really is a pet peeve of mine is that how unobservant we are out in the community. And sometimes we're walking around and we're having conversations that just aren't Christ-like. Not only should they not be a part of our normal conversation, they definitely shouldn't be a part of our conversation when we're going out in the community, especially in the summer months. People keep their windows open, and in a residential community or even an urban apartment setting, people can hear what you're talking about outside. The last thing you want to happen is your conversation to lead someone away from Christ instead of to Christ. Okay, so that's a big one. Number 3, don't stay too long, but don't leave too soon. Okay? If you're going to a person's door and you're ringing the doorbell, you want to stay long enough for them to get a chance to come. Sometimes people are indecent or they're watching TV, so they're kind of looking at each other like, did you invite anybody over? And they're like, no, I didn't invite anybody over. And so it might take them, somewhere in the area of, 20 to 30 seconds to come and answer the door. So you want to give them some time, but you don't want to be a stalker. So don't leave too soon, but don't stay too long. All right? Number 4, wear comfortable and supportive footwear. It's nothing worse than being on a prayer walk or doing some canvassing and your feet just get tired because you're wearing the wrong kind of shoes. Get some sneakers. Any type of sneakers would do, especially with ankle support and good foot or like sole protection for your feet. The spirit is willing, but sometimes the flesh is weak, literally. Okay? So number 5, always go out in groups of 2 or more. There's safety in numbers. We live in a crazy world today, and Jesus was careful enough to send his disciples out 2 by 2. He didn't send them out alone. So it's very important that we go out with multiple people. There's always safety in numbers. The Bible says he pities a person who goes out alone. So there's not only is it biblical, it's just safe and practical. Number 6, be observant. This is one of my favorite ones. People have signs in their yard like, don't knock, we have a dog, or don't knock, we have a baby in the house who's sleeping, and if you wake them up, you got to take them. We ran into a sign like that one day, so we just didn't knock. We left some information with them so that they can contact us when the time was right. So be observant. They also serve as great talking points. One time we went to a yard, there were a bunch of children's toys, and so we were talking about information to a church about the church. We made sure that we mentioned that we had a children's ministry because they had small children. So those are great talking points. So be observant. Number 7. Don't judge a house by its appearance, because looks can be deceiving. Sometimes we run on houses that look like, people are getting ready to move, or they look like pack rats, or it looks crazy, or it looks like something from Nightmare on Elm Street. But you know what? There might be a person in there who needs the love of Jesus desperately. And because their house looked funny, you didn't go up to it. Remember, you're safe. You're in numbers, so it's okay, if it looks scary. But you want to go there because there might be the nicest person there. I remember once in one experience, we went to a house, and the guy had like a big dumpster in his yard, and he was working, and he didn't look approachable, but he was so cool to talk to. So don't judge people, okay? Number 8, ring and knock. A lot of people don't fix their doorbells. Doorbells stop working, and for some reason it gets on that honey-do list that never gets done. Man, you guys know what I'm talking about. in 3 weeks and your wife wants you to fix the toilet and you just haven't done it. And so sometimes, a doorbell, people don't fix it because a lot of people don't come over unexpectedly. So ring and knock. If you don't like that, you can also ring and listen for the door chime, but it's just healthy to ring and knock. Number 9, you tell me yours and I'll tell you mine. I can't stand it when people call my phone and ask me, who is it? You called me. So give me your name first. A lot of times when I go to people's houses, I make sure that in my introduction, my name is clearly stated and where I'm from. And a lot of times people are way more comfortable telling me their name once I have given my name. And getting their name makes it so much more personal for you to talk to them for the rest of the time. Even telemarketers do that. They call you and they try to do your name. And my name, people mess up Knighton all the time. I'm Mr. Kington or Kingston. They never get Knighton right. But anyway, and number 10, pray immediately for those that reject the message. It's very important that you pray for people immediately who turn down the message. Pray that the Lord will work with them and that maybe another person might be sent so that we can help them and that they're not just left alone in their rejection. They hurt. It hurts to have the gospel rejected, but you still want to be prayerful about those people. Pray for the condition of their heart that the Lord might do something that would open up another door. Well, I couldn't just give you 10 points, guys. I got a couple bonus ones that I want to throw at you. Okay, the first one is bring some water, especially in the summer months. You can get thirsty, and unless you're in an urban context, you might not have a local bodega or a local corner store that you can run to and get something to drink. Okay, number 12, you want to have a trail car just in case somebody gets tired, especially if you've got young children with you or elderly people. Sometimes those bones and feet just don't want to work no more, and you might need a trail car, and it might be an incident. A person might get stung by a bee and need a quick emergency exit. You never know. So always good to have a trail car, especially when you're doing long distance or walking long distances to travel. Third one that we have for you is bring doorknob hangers with you. Get them with your church information or the event information on it, because you cannot put things in the mail. That's a federal crime. And the last thing we want to be doing is committing crimes while we're trying to share Jesus. I think that would be somewhat counterproductive. And our last point that I want to share with you is be moment ministers. Okay? And what I mean by that is when you run into somebody out in the community and they seem downtrodden, or you're talking to someone that's a sad situation, or they look like they want prayer, offer prayer now. Sometimes we're human, and sometimes we forget to pray for people that we say we'll pray for. So what I like to do is I like to pray for people right then and there and make sure that they know that I'm praying for them. Well, that's all the time and tips that we have for you today. If you like what you're seeing, please contact us at Jesus Campaign 365. And if you would like, we can come to your church and do these events, do this training live, and you can see what it's like to experience that. We have a new training series that we're working on called Basic Training, and it's 3 weeks of training. So maybe you want to take a vacation if you're a pastor and you want someone competent to come and teach Bible study, or maybe you're preparing for another series and you want some time to get there and study and seek the face of God. We can come in for 3 weeks and offer this basic training on evangelism for your congregation. So thank you again for your time, and God bless you as you share.